Hello, my name is Seth Began, and I go by my middle name Jude, and I'm going to be discussing the activity-based costing for the company Toyota. Activity-based costing identifies overhead costs, assigns them to specific cost objects, and is based on activities such as setting up machines, designing products, distributing finished goods, and operating machines. With activity-based costing, ABC in parentheses, overhead costs from each department are identified and attributed to particular cost objects such as products or services. The ABC system of cost accounting is based on activities, which are any event, unit of work, or activity with a particular object, such as assembling industrial equipment, creating products, distributing finished items, or operating machinery. These activities are also regarded as cost drivers, and it is on the basis of them that overhead expenses are allocated. In the past, overhead expenses were allocated based on a single general metric, such as machine hours. ABC identifies the cost drivers by performing an activity analysis where relevant metrics are the focus. As a result, when managers examine the price and profitability of particular services or goods provided by their company, ABC tends to be much more precise and beneficial. Employees on the production line, for instance, might receive a survey from cost accountants using ABC, who will then track how much time is spent on each task. Only the commodities or services that used these particular activities are given the expenses associated with those activities. As a result, management has a clearer understanding of how and where time, money are being spent. Toyota operations and manufacturing. They have design of goods and services. They have quality management. They have a process and capacity design. They have a location strategy and a layout design strategy. Toyota uses technological innovation and high-quality products to handle this operational management strategic decision area. The business makes use of its R&D expenditures to guarantee cutting-edge characteristics in its items. Toyota incorporates the requirements of the dealership staff when planning the after-sales services. The business employs its Toyota Production System, TPS, to maximize quality. Additionally, the company uses continuous improvement, which is addressed in the Toyota Way, as a set of management principles to solve the strategic decision area of operations management. Toyota applies lean manufacturing, which is also inherent in TPS, to this area of strategic operations management decision-making. To increase process effectiveness and capacity utilization, the organization places a strong emphasis on waste avoidance. Toyota therefore promotes cost-effectiveness and business efficiency in the process and capacity design. Toyota employs local, national, and international location strategies. Toyota uses a variety of ways to solve this operational management strategic decision area. The organization seeks to maximize workflow efficiency in this area of strategic operations management decision-making. The structure of Toyota dealership, on the other hand, complies with corporate standards while also taking dealer input into consideration. Managers at Toyota Motor can take the following actions to perform ABC costing after identifying all support activities, associated costs, and variables that drive those costs. Step 1. Creating a cost pool for each activity based on the dynamics of the auto and truck manufacturers. Step 2. Allocate the entire cost of each activity to the appropriate pool. Step 3. Using the appropriate cost driver to calculate per unit cost. Step 4. Divide each pool's funds by the cost driver's anticipated total utilization. The cost per unit of product's cost driver is then multiplied by the quantity of that product. This is an exact graph with unchanged numbers from the How to Calculate Overhead Cost Per Unit article. As you can see here, we have the overhead unit cost. Then we have setup costs, special part handling cost, customer invoicing cost, material handling cost, other overhead costs, other overheads, and the total overheads. And this is divided into standard and custom. To calculate per unit overhead costing using ABC, You first divide your overhead costs by the quantity of units sold to get the plain and easy calculation for overhead costs per unit. Manufacturing your goods and services overhead costs are also known as fixed costs because they are constant in comparison to the costs incurred in manufacturing your goods and services. No matter how many car parts Toyota sells, 2 or 200, they pay the same amount. Some overhead costs, like utilities, may rise when output rises, especially if Toyota is manufacturing, since it requires more energy to manufacture more things. The relationship between production volume and utility costs, however, is far from obvious, and some utility costs remain constant in proportion to output volume. In conclusion, by applying the ABC system to Toyota, the company can access a system that offers a cost per unit that is more precise. Using ABC can help Toyota with better pricing and sales tactics because the costing is more accurate. Because the information is more accurate, it also enhances performance management procedures and enables those concerned to take better judgments. It enables more thorough cost insights. ABC examines the factors influencing overhead costs in more detail. As a result, it is possible to have a clear understanding of what might be limiting Toyota's production or sales volume. This enables a quicker response to potentially bothersome issues and saves money. With conventional costing methodologies, you are not solely limited to production overhead costs. The basis of activity-based costing is the overhead associated with all your activities. This enables Toyota to calculate responsible prices in an increasingly complex business environment, which can boost their ability to compete in their industry or niche.